Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the Drupal Camp Shunga 2020. I hope everyone having a good time, so that we're in the right place here. So today I will be talking about JSON API, a zero config out-of-box approach for API first Drupal. Let me introduce myself. Myself is Parvatisham Konapla. I am from Hyderabad, India. I work for FICA System INC as a senior Drupal developer. Uh, at the rate power underscore 523 is my Twitter handler. I'm active in Twitter, and slash Parvatism is my Drupal.org. So I'm active speaker and Drupal community contributor, and so far I attended a couple of national and international Drupal camps and cons, and also I volunteered a couple of Drupal camps and local Drupal meetups. This is all about. I'm most enthusiast of Drupal contribution and all those things. Let's discuss about the agenda. So in this session, I will be talking about what is JSON API and about JSON API module in Drupalite, and comparison between the JSON API versus core REST API module. And also I will walk through about JSON API models, how to work with the JSON API model, and how to generate the JPI and JSON endpoints to work with web services and all. And later I will discuss about the JSON API security considerations, and at the end I will talk about the live demo about this all, how JSON API it will work, and what are the parameters we need to use. We will discuss all about this in this session. So at the end of this session, audience will get to know what is JSON API and how to deal with the JSON API, and how to generate the JSON API endpoints and all. We can walk through. First of all, what is JSON API? So JSON API is a specification for how a client should request the resources be fetched or modified, and how a server should respond those requests. That means while creating an article, and how to create an article through JSON API endpoints, and how to delete and how to fetch the data from the backend through web service client and all, we will discuss. And also JSON API is mainly contains the JSON API media type to exchange the data, that is called application/vnd.api plus JSON. This will be the media type is required to exchange the data between the client and server. And JSON API is an open standard, and using JSON API we can quickly and efficiently we can create the RESTful APIs, and also it will increase the productivity also with the server conventions. And the main thing is JSON API, it will minimize the number of requests, so that we need to fetch the data from the backend. And also it will act as a communication between the CMSs as a frameworks, different frameworks and all. It's a decoupled front-end architectures and multi-channel content. This is about all about the JSON API. So let's talk about the JSON API module in Drupalite, what it is does and all. So the mainly JSON API module is a zero-ish configuration module, and that means whenever we install the module, is instantly it start working. All the JSON API endpoints, it automatically generates the all the REST resources which is available in the Drupal system, like users, taxonomies, and nodes, everything. This not required any configurations for this module, so that's why we call it as a zero-ish configuration module. And our Drupal data structure is well suited for the JSON API because of Drupal data structure. It contains the entities and fields, and all this information is well suited for the JSON API. So that is the one thing. And also it's a production ready out of box features it contains. That's it for this is JSON API model. The next we will if you can see this screenshot in the right side, This is the JSON API configuration phase. If you can see, there is no additional configurations here. So whenever you install the module, if you visit the this configuration phase, by default, it is set to the accept only JSON API read operations. And if you need any additional work which you want, like a create or read or update or any delete operation, if you want, as for client needs, then you can choose to accept all JSON API. So this is about the JSON API configuration page backend. Next, we will talk about the JSON API versus core REST API module. So what it is there in JSON API module and what's not there in core REST API module. And we'll talk about a few things. So core REST module allows for anything. That means any format or any logic and any HTTP method, and this will all allows for the core REST API module. And extremely we have a configuration is a bit complex, but relatively it is a brittle. Coming to the JSON API, mainly focusing on exposing the data from the backend, that is entities and all this. This will mainly focusing on exposing the data from the backend. That is the main difference for JSON API and the REST module. And also the configuration is a little bit pain in normal core REST API module. Means if you want to generate any REST resource, you need to set backend all these methods, get, post, delete, based on the requirement. And also we need to set the formats like JSON, XML, what is required and all. And also we need to set the authentication, basic authentication and all. So whenever we try to create an endpoint, all these configurations we need to set. Then only that endpoint it will be accessible and it will work when you're testing. But compared to the JSON API, these all the things we don't want to set it. So this is already it will work. This. And collection of entities are a little bit pain. For example, in RESTful module, you want to export, get all the data, and also you need to create a REST export using views. Then you can generate that JSON format and we can use it. So that is one thing. And also if you want to set a configuration, for example, I have an endpoint, it contains the list of articles, and I want to get those articles like a ascending or descending order, and I need some filterization specific for title based, and I need a paginations. These all the things we need to do some configurations in the RESTful model. But in JSON API, we can set those parameters in the query parametersing, and we can fetch that information without configuring anything. And handling referential data a little bit pain. For example, if you want to get this get all the information for that particular type of article, like taxonomy slash term 1, taxonomy term 2, these all the referential data while we are getting it will little bit anything in the RESTful model. And while coming to the JSON API, these all the things we can tackle it will easily. We can pass certain parameters and all. So now I have a question to the audience. So regarding these all the common different points between the JSON API and the RESTful API module. So do you think JSON API module is the replacement of Drupalite core REST module? If you guys have answer like yes, no, please ping me in the chat, so just I can understand you guys are hearing properly what I'm talking. Okay, yeah. Yeah, basically, it's not a replacement of core REST module, because of things which cannot do JSON API. There are a couple of things JSON API cannot do, which is Drupal core REST model it is doing. So that's why it's not a replacement of as of now. Maybe in future, not sure. So things with JSON API cannot do. So processing a business logic, JSON API cannot handle. And also, for example, if you want to set a new user registration through web services, that won't happen here. And also login, logout. And if you want to requesting a new password, those kind of workflow, it's not working. Also, if you have a customized response based on this certain condition, like you have a complex conditional things, you want to set the response, so those kind of things, JSON API is can't handle those things. But these all the things, it's RESTful API model, it can handle. So when we need to choose the JSON API, then so choose REST API if you have a non-entity data, so that you want to expose. In all other cases, we can choose the JSON API. This is you need to choose the based on the client requirement. Example, nowadays we have a lot of apps. Is Drupal should be backend and front end should be the Angular JS or React JS. Let's assume we have a news app. So in that news app, people will just go to that app and they will read all the news. It's not required any registration or login or couple of the things. So in the they just want to get the data from the backend, and we need to show to this into the app. So this will deal normal. We can choose in this kind of situation. JSON API is the best choice because of you don't have any non-entity data kind of thing, registration and login and all. So this we can choose based on the client requirement. If you have any login, registration, these all kind of things, we can use parallelly both. So that is one. Next, we'll go to the how to work with the JSON API module workflow. So JSON API endpoints, these endpoints are very constant and logical pattern. For example, you can see a URL site slash JSON API slash entity type slash bundle. So this is one syntax for the endpoint. If you want to get list of all articles, so you just use the JSON API slash node as article. So this will give the all the articles. And if you want to make a single article, so then we need to pass in JSON API as the UID of that particular article. So then it will fetch the that individual article. So UID here is the very important to get any individual node information. Let's see the how the response structure here. So this is the sample response structure. If you can see, type should be node hyphen article and ID, and it contains the attributes, and attributes nothing but a fields what it is there in the that particular content type. So title and creator is example, and relationships. This is the sample response structure. How when we hit the JSON API endpoint to get to fetch a read article, this is the sample response. And we will talk about the resource object structure. So resource object structure must contains the data inside. We have a type, whether it is in our Drupal standard we will call it as articles or page or any other content type, and ID, and attributes is nothing but a fields, and the relationships with interact with that particular content type, so like a taxonomy terms or anything. And if you have any user related kind of things, and may contains attributes or relationships and links and included, and we will talk about in this session what is included and all while doing the demo part. So I will explain this demo parallelly, explain the scenario and demo. I'll cover the parallelly. So first of all, we'll talk about the fetching the resources. So while fetching the resources in headers, we must pass the accept criteria, that is called application slash vnd.api plus JSON. Content type, application slash vnd.api plus json, but content type is not required for while we are fetching. But if you are performing any write operations like updating and deleting and creating of articles, so that time you need to use the content type. For fetching accept criteria, it's fine. The method we need to follow the get, and the endpoint URL should be like this. So site slash JSON API slash node slash article and article ID if you want to fetch an individual article. But if you want to get the list of article, node slash article, it should be the syntax. So let's go to the backend system. So I have created a list of articles in the backend for testing purpose, and I'm using the Postman for as a client to fetch the to interact with the Drupal backend. First of all, example for fetching the single article. So as of now, Drupal it's my local site slash JSON API slash node slash article, and I gave to the one UID. This is the UID for particular article. So how we need to get the UID? So for testing purpose, we need to enable the devel module. So in the devel module, if you devel slash node ID, if you enter, then you will get the UID. So for testing purpose, we can just copy this ID and we will pass it here. So whenever we hit this one, okay, so maybe that node is not available, so let's copy this one. Yes, so this will give the this will fetch the node information according to this endpoint single article. So this is contains data is the node article and ID links and attributes. So as of now, I haven't set any specific fields to display. So that's why it's displaying all the fields which is available in the article. So next example, I will expand the sparse fields. Means that means we need to fetch only required fields, which is required from the backend. So as of now, we are not set anything, so it is fetching all, and it's the body information and comment section and relationships with the user and node type. So this all the information it will give. That is the one scenario. And if you want to fetch multiple articles, just JSON API node slash article. For for demo, I just created these all the endpoints, and I'm making showing here to easily understand. So this is node slash article. This will provide all the articles which is I created in the backend. So I have more than 15 articles. So there's all the 15 articles here. It is displaying. This is for fetching the data from backend to get method. Then we will go to the next example. Next, we will talk about the pagination. So while fetching the articles, like in our system, as of now, I have only 20 articles. But while going to the real world scenario, we have thousands of articles. So in the thousands of articles, if you want to provide some pagination to the mobility team, so the mobility team doesn't handle these all those things. So we need to Drupal backend only we need to set, and if you everything it need to be working that particular endpoint. So what we will do is there is a parameter called limit. So article question mark page limit equal to 5. If you set this one, this will give the first 5 articles. And also there is an offset. We need to set specific to, because of as of now page limit we are given 5. This will give the only 5 articles, but specific scenario we need next 5 articles. So in that particular situation we can use offset. Also one more parameter is available, so this will give next 5 articles. So let's see the demo part here. So I have set the JSON API slash node slash article question mark page limit equal to 5. So then it should be five. It will give the five first articles. If you can see here, article title. This is page source examples. So this is, if I can see, then backend. We have this one content here. See, this page shows the example is the first article, and this all last get first 10 articles should be the last one. Get first 10 articles in the last one. So this is for linked. Then if you want to set the offset, this will give the next five, means six. It will start from the sixth article. Here my custom title JSON API. If you can see backend, my custom title JSON API. This is the sixth article. So next five articles it is starting displaying. So this is for offset. So you can set offset based on your requirement, how it's want. So next thing is sorting. So while we are working, we have thousands of articles, then we need to display like their ascending order or descending order. So we need to set those kind of things in through JSON API and a point URL. So as of now, article slash question mark sort equal to NID. This will display the ascending order. So if you want to display the descending order, you don't need to do any custom logic here. So you just make it as a minus NID, then this will give the descending order. The similar thing for, let's see the sorting process. So this is the example for sorting articles by NID. So as of now, if you can see here, Drupal, like I have given Drupal Camp Poland from 2020 and all. So these are all some examples here. These are all coming based on the NID. But if you want to set minus NID, then this will give the descending order. See, this is changed. So this is for ascending and descending orders sorting, but you can sort by title also. Here also simple, like, so if you want to sort based on the title, normal. If you want to sort like descending order, then just we can make it as a minus title, then it will be display as a descending order. As of now we can see authentication is my title is starting from A. Next should be D, demo example one. So let's see if we can make it as a minus title, then order will be changed, means that will be descending order. It will start from Z to A. This is, so these are the some example for sorting articles by title with ascending and descending. So paginess is over and sorting. Next, filters. So in our regular situation, for in any endpoint, we need to filter the fields like based on the title or anything, so an ID and all. So this is the filter query parameter endpoint site slash JSON API slash node slash article question mark filter title and value. This my custom title will be the title of this one, and the shortened form of this syntax: filter title condition path and title filter and condition value equal to my custom title. Here filter ID should be title and the filter type should be condition and path should be title and value should be my custom title. It's a hard coded one we are passing here, and operator should be equal to. So we can test it here how the filter things. This is the simple filtering, but we can do in a complex filters also here based on the business need. So we will talk about the filter articles. Yeah, so if you can see here, notes as article question mark filter and title value equal to second hello world article. So this will give the only that filter related articles here. Well, in this system I have only one, so this is providing here. And also one more thing, sort multiple fields. As of now, we have only sort if we create a date, UID, name and all, so we can sort like that also. This is how for sorting and filtering. Next we will go to the includes concept. So uh, so includes are lengthy referenced by relationship. So when we use the includes, so the main concept of includes, we can embed the multiple resources into one single request, and we can get all the information at a time. So this will give the more performance and also more accurate, because of when you trying to fetch the data from the backend, if you use the multiple requests, there is a burden to the server. But if you can embed those all the resource requests into one single uh, endpoint, so then we can easily get that information, and it will increase the performance also. That in that particular situation includes we will use, and we will see how the example of includes here. Node slash article question mark field, node hyphen article. This is for article node, and UID title and created equal to include UID. So I'm just attaching to the user information here. So here it's the data, and data it contains only title and created. So I'm fetching only title and created, and included with the user information. So you can see the separate tab here, display name, it is coming. And also you can see the separate section called included. So this is all the information from additionally we have added. So that included parameter, it will give the separately all the information here. So that is the type is user, and links and attribute display name equal to admin. So this is what exactly it is there, and the information is displaying here. This is for includes. Include with the other information if you want. The same which I am showing the example. Nothing is extra here. Next, we will go to the creation part. So creating a new resources, for example, if you want to create an article, so from the like I'm a app user, I'm logging, I'm creating some post, so it will go to the backend, and it need to be fall into the Drupal database backend. So how we need to give the structure for this creating a new resources. So here we have a site slash JSON API slash node slash article, and the requested body should be data, and the type we are following for node article. If any other content type, you can assign based on that. And here must and should we need to pass the uh, article ID and UID. While creating is not required, and attributes will be title, body, or what are the fields information you want, you can just pass it here. This is for creating a new resources. And next, if you want to update the existing resources, so for that we will use the patch method. And the endpoint URL should be JSON API node source article and article UID. Because of while we updating, we need to set the article UID, but while creating, it's not required. So because of we need to update the specific article, so we need to pass the article UID, and the requested body should be same. And also here also we need to update the article UID, and the attributes should be. We can based on the title, whether you want to update the title, whether you want to body, then based on that you need to do. But there is a question like how you find this body structure. So it's very simple. So we have a fetch request earlier, we are using the same format which is generating, we can use here also. So and as of now it's simply we have pasted the data. If you have a relationships and all, you can just add it the structure how it is while getting. So that is a simple one. And how to when while removing the existing resources, there is certain cases if you're required to delete those things, delete operation. It's also simple node slash article void if you want to delete a particular article so from backend. So I will show you the demo part for this. So here we need to pass the additional headers here, uh, content type we need to pass, and also authorization we need to pass. Because of here we are doing creating, means while creating we need a specific permissions to do that one. So as of now for my local testing I'm using the basic authentication, but while going to the production and also you can use the simple author R2 module. So a couple of configurations so you have to use based on your client requirements. So as of now for my local I'm passing the basic authentication which is passing by username and password, and header also I'm passing the same information, and the method should be post here and JSON API node slash article, and the body format should be I'm having here my custom title JSON API demo 2020. So this is what my title here, and body should be a custom value and I provide, and the format should be flying underscore text. So I will click here and we will see how the data is created to the backend. So the response should be this one, my custom title JSON API demo 2020, and we can see whether it is created or not in backend system. See, this is the article just now it is created. My custom title JSON API demo 2020. So this is for creating an article. And next we'll so the same thing, like so the example I have created for one more thing. I created one more content type called page. So you can do the custom part also, like same example. So here also I'm passing one more JSON API test. So this is also generated and we can see it in the backend. So this is the page content type and this is what created. So next we will see update an article. So the current article, what is exactly it is there, we will update the same article only. So this is article is node is a 25. So I will find the UID for this article, and I will use this UID here to update that specific article, and body also I'll mention the same here. So 200 is a response for okay this one. You will see something testing. So demo test it is updated here. So this is for updating. So if you want to delete the same article, let's see the backend how it is. So my updated or demo test, we are trying to delete the same article. So we will just pass it here to the UID. So 204 no content. This is the response. If you can see backend, that article it's already deleted. So it's deleted. So these are the operations, the basic operations which we have in the regular ongoing work while interacting with the RESTful APIs we want to generate. The basic example which I showed you, and one more thing I will try to show sparse field. So as of now when we fetching the data, we are fetching all the information what it is there in that particular article. But some business cases we doesn't want all the information, we just need the title and the body information, so rest of the information we don't want. So that time we have a sparsely field sets. So here in the URL we need to mention what we need and what we doesn't need. So in that node-article I mentioned title and created, and UID case I mentioned only display and underscore name. So only those information I want to display and I want to fetch. So this is for sparse field section. So if you can see here, title and created information, that attribute section is displayed. And if you go to the included section, user information, only display name it is displayed. So this is what we can filter the fields which you want based on the needs. So these are all the examples for this. Next we will go to the security congestion parts. Let me show you. JSON API security considerations. So this is a normal the mainly JSON API is respect all the Drupal core security measures. So it's not adding any on top of additional things, and it's not bypassing any existing permissions like field or entity access permissions. Nothing it's not doing. It will always respect the Drupal core permission system, and all the features it will respect. And also the importance of using the stable contributor mode. This is if you are working in a Drupal system, everywhere we need to see the whether the mod really is stable or not, and if have any security patches we need to up to date. So this is a normal how we are working in a Drupal normal website, how we are taking caring all the site health, and also similar thing we need to follow here also. And also we need to see the, this will always respect the entity and field access JSON API. So how like in our Drupal backend system, if you go the backend system and if you access any node, how it is behaving, the same thing while doing for accessing the REST endpoint also. So if you want to try to audit, you just install the entity and field access audit module, and this will give the all the analysis of which field you want to access and which field you don't want to access. So you can do all the necessary things there, and also expose only what you use. As of now in our backend system, if you can see a lot of endpoints it will generate, but I'm using as of now article only content type I'm using. But other things are is already instantly it will generate, like resource it will instant it will generate. So those kind of resources you doesn't want, so you need to just disable those kind of things. In JSON API section we have an extra module called JSON API extra module. So this module what it will give is we can set your own path. As of now JSON API all the endpoints it's followed by /JSON API. So you want to set your custom path, then you can easily set it here. And also whenever JSON API module installed, automatically all the endpoints will be generated what is present in the backend, like a file, all entities like comment and blog, everything it will create. But these all the things we are not using. So you just go to this override and you can disable what you doesn't want. So that is the feature we will get in JSON API extra module. You need to install and you can control over there. Next thing is read only mode. So by default JSON API it will give the read only mode until or unless you want some create, update, read operation. So as my suggestion, you always keep the accept JSON API read operations if your requirement it doesn't have any write operations. So that is the main one you need to follow. And another thing, secret base path. So as of now all the paths are JSON API paths going on. So site URL /JSON API. So you want to set your secret path in the routing.yaml file, you can set your own secret path and base path, and you can attach this one. So that is also one of kind of security measure you can follow there. And limit which you once may be created or edited by removing some route. So we can programmatically we can disable a couple of entity resources and also fields if you doesn't want. So there is a event subscriber available for this one. You need to control over there also programmatically, which is you want and which is doesn't want. So these are all the some security considerations which you need to follow here. And other than this, while you have a creating and updating kind of scenario, so you just need to enable the simple auth and auth2 module which is required. So this will give the refresh tokens, and that token will whenever the token will be matched, then only that endpoint or it will be accessible. So that is also you can set, and you can create a client over there, and it will whenever set the simple auth model, it will generate the private and public key, and you can keep there. And you will also create a separate client, and you can attach these keys to access the endpoint whenever. Other than this, you can use the base 64 authentication also whenever access the endpoint. Before accessing the endpoint, the mobility team, you need to validate that one using the base 64 authentication. Other than that, you can use the normal JWT token to authenticate whether this URL is coming from this specific domain and all. And also you can set tags, couple of tags intervals, like, so this is an internal tag. If you set, then the system will JSON API will understand this is the internal, so that doesn't make it work for that. If it is anything is matched with the internal, it doesn't take care JSON API. So these are all the some security considerations we need to follow while we have any write operations in our requirement. So this is all about the session. If you guys have any questions, please feel to let me know. So I will happy to answer those questions.